How you doing? It's Blair from shopvelox.com, bringing you part 2 of my graphite little trick that is catching on pretty good. Based upon the reviews and the feedback I got from y'all, I've kind of made some adjustments to the application of our product. The first thing was is that our graphite used to come in this nice little squeeze bottle, which I thought was beautiful at the time. But too many of y'all have emailed me about wanting a syringe and a needle and the way I did it. So, yeah, we've moved on now. I've got this nice accordion style graphite applicator. It's got this nice applicator tip. In actuality, this thing fits perfect inside that wheel hub. So now we can apply graphite. We can dust graphite without having to get the brush out. And we can apply this in a packing method that best suits you if you want to do it that way. The way that I'm showing it might not be the best way for you. It happens to be the best way for me. Just the great thing about this is that if you mess up, graphite dries, you can start all over and just find what works best for your application. So actually, now that our graphite comes in this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tip off. And I'm going to dump some graphite in a container. This is actually what the Boy Scout wheels come in. Any kind of trash container will work, even like your McDonald's, sweet and sour barbecue sauces will work fine. And I'm just going to apply what we call a liberal amount. Don't get all technical with how much I'm supposed to put in there. I applied, you can see, pretty good heaping amount. What I'm going to do to that is I'm going to apply 99% alcohol, guys. I actually ordered this off the internet. I didn't try to find this, but I've been told you can get them at Walgreens, Walmart, or any other your pharmacy places. I haven't tried the 70-30 blends or the 90-10 blends. I've got the 99% because I want the alcohol to dry because I'm lazy. I want it to dry as quick as it can be. I don't want to sit around waiting for the water part to evaporate. So I've actually reduced that into just one of those bottles that y'all don't like. We need some kind of spatula or mixer, and since I don't like people having to buy more than they have to, I'm actually going to take an edge of this credit card off, the gap gauge tool, and I'm going to cut the edge of it off, just like that. So this is my spatula now, and I'm going to mix some alcohol. Again, I have no idea what the proper ratio is, but basically I want to turn this into a paste. And like I said, if you find the consistency is too gooey, too soft, whatever, I want it like thick pancake batter. So it looks like I put too much liquid in there. I'm going to add some more graphite. So now I got this nice gooey paste, and that'll work really well. And if I don't use it in time, you can just add some more alcohol. See the nice, it's got peaks, if you beat your eggs, it's got peaks. I have chosen a red tire to show y'all for purposes. We're going to install our axle in the back way. So now you've got that gap, that area between the actual axle and the hub, and that's what we're going to pack with graphite. I'm going to take my paste and apply it liberally around it. I'm going to take our custom dual-purpose axle hub packing tool, and I'm just going to slowly advance it and twist so that we're going to get that packing. Take what's left over that got on the sides. And do it again. And if you notice, it's starting to cake in there nice and pretty. There's the extras on that tool. We'll just wipe that off again. We'll apply to the sides. And I'll show you what this is going to look like pretty much here in a minute. And we're just going to do one last nice mush. Okay, so the key here is while you're doing this, hold that axle head firm against that so you don't get the wiggle wobbly axle head, and that you can get a nice pack in there. And we're going to lay it down. You can do one of two things. You can sit there and let the alcohol dry, or I like to do in the tool man. I got my heat gun. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't like to wait. So I'm going to apply some heat. And do it in a smart manner, to the point that you're not going to melt your melt your axle. Actually, I've got it a good almost foot away. If you want to use your mom's hair dryer, better ask her permission before you do this, and better have her help you do it. And basically, I'm just going to keep this on here until it dries. Crank the heat up. Oops. Don't want to get it too hot. And, you know, the wise man would say probably just wait 5 minutes, maybe 10, come back to it. But since this is a YouTube video and it would be boring to watch 10 minutes of something drying, I'm just trying to speed up the process. That's probably enough time. I'll give it a test. Myself with that. So the test here is just to pick up your axle and to pick up your wheel and see if your axle will back out. And see, I probably did this a little bit too soon. So now you can see that that gap that was there before is now filled with graphite. I can clean the edges off with just my finger. It's graphite, it'll roll right off. And there's the packed hub, and just to show you how it works, I'm going to take my axle, I'm going to clean it off a little bit. I'm just using a chamois, the super chamois from TV, as seen on TV. I'm one of those suckers. Install that back. And then you've got a beautiful packed bearing that as you go down your mini races, this wheel isn't balanced at all. You can see how it wobbles. It's still there. I'm going to show you if you drop it, it's still there. Nothing comes out. Drop it again, still there. Nothing coming out. Install your wheel. And just know that this is not any kind of illegal representation of the rules. It is just simply graphite. You put graphite in the hub. It's not in there with any kind of epoxy or glue or anything. You just happen to be able to find some really nice fine powdered graphite that's packable under pressure. And even if they challenge you about it, you can show them the tube that you used to do it, and it's still there. And it's going to be there. It's going to be there for many, many races. And so this is like a nice little speed technique that might help you knock off a few thousandths of an inch, thousandths of a second, and if you're lucky enough, you'll get a tenth of a second off. And later on in the 10th and 11th race of your district or pack, this will really show to prove that it's an actual help. It'll help you with your speed. So I hope that one's a little bit better than the first one. It's a little bit easier to understand. It's a little bit easier to apply. I want to thank y'all for the input, and hopefully y'all will be able to use my new technique and get you some wins. Thanks a lot.